Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your January 2021 love reading. Mid-month love reading, let me say. My name is Gemstone and I will be doing your reading for you. I hope you're well. How are you? If you feel called, please let us know in the comments. We care. Today we are going to look into your love life, Sagittarius. Pry into that love life of yours. Just kidding, but we're going to take a look into your love life. And if you haven't watched the January 2021 general guidance readings that were posted in the beginning of the month, I'm going to have a card at 2 minutes. A card is just a notification at the top of the video letting you know or notifying you of the video. You can click it and it will open the video. I think it will open it in another tab. I'm going to put in the card. I always put the cards in the videos, but I realize I never bring your attention to it. Specifically now, I'm bringing your attention to it because the format of that video will be the format of this video. What we're going to look at today is the energy that you're coming out of for the past 365 days. We know that time is a construct and time is an illusion within this three-dimensional reality, but we're going to use it to our betterment by looking at the past 365 days with one card and using it as a point of reflection. So we're going to look at the past 365 days in your love life with one card. We're going to pull an oracle card for the emotional space that you're coming out of, as well as another oracle card for the situation that you are coming out of. This is the energy that you're coming out of. And then we're going to do the same for the energy that you're moving into. Now in the description box down below, I have created these things called tarot scopes. My guides told me this is the name, tarot scope. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. So anyway, a tarot scope is a tarot horoscope. I write them in the format of a horoscope. What I'm writing is information, downloads, any messages I receive in my meditation that I do before your reading. I place it down in the description box below so that you can have a reading within a reading, an inception of tarot, if you will. If at any point that reading correlates with this reading that we're doing here in an obvious way, and when I say obvious, it's like, oh wow, this is like so obvious, I will definitely mention it. But otherwise, you can look down to there for that reading within a reading. I know that there are times where I connect with different Sagittariuses. Anyway, say Sagittariuses twice, like with those who are Sagittarius. And specifically, so now when it comes to us like receiving these messages, I felt that your rising sign, your sun sign, your moon sign, and your Jupiter sign are the strongest. This is what I felt. Yesterday, Jupiter was added. Those are the strongest. All the other planets or all the other signs within those planets, they're okay, but those four are the strongest, all right? So let's get into your reading, Sag. What energy is Sagittarius coming out of? What energy is Sagittarius coming out of? The moon is what we got. I feel confusion with this. I feel the sense of being lost, feeling lost. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Cups. So I feel like you have been confused in a connection that you're in at this particular time. You feel, there's another side of it that feels mystical and abundant in a very Piscean way. Of course, this is the Pisces card, but I'm feeling that energy of like that, just imagining. Okay, just imagine with me that you're on this rock. It's cool, temperature-wise. The air is moist, but yet dry at the same time. It's easy to breathe. And the wind is billowing through your hair if you have hair. And it just feels refreshing. It's just that refreshing, mystical vibe of what's next, and it's exciting. So I feel like some of you have met someone that you're excited about, while on the other hand, there's an emotional roller coaster that I'm feeling. And I feel with this that you once thought, like your initial judgment or your initial discernment of the person that you're with is very different to the person that they are. It feels like you had those rose-colored glasses on. And now you're feeling lost, you're feeling disconnected, you're feeling confused. That's what I feel. Okay, so let's see what emotional space you're coming out of. So that's the energy that you're coming out of in general. What emotional space is Sagittarius coming out of? All messages are for the highest good of Sagittarius. What energy, specifically what emotion, energy in motion, what energy is Sagittarius coming out of? What energy, emotion is Sag coming out of? Doubt. Yep. Felt it. That sense of confusion. It says, I release the need to know all the answers. So this feels like a message that can help alleviate your reflections on the past when you go back into this space, as you reflect on it. It feels confusing. Like, what do I do next? It's like not necessarily emotionally overwhelmed or feeling emotionally unbalanced, but just not knowing at all. The thing about the Moon card is your connection to your intuition. For me, this is my interpretation of this. Your connection with your intuition is what guides you through this space. And at this time in the past, for those that are in this energy at this moment, this is at this time currently, but for those who are looking back at this moment, at this time in the past, you weren't connected to your intuition. You were struggling with it. And I can feel that you were getting confused with fear and intuition and following fear most of the time. What situation is Sagittarius coming out of? What situation is Sagittarius coming out of? Okay, so the energy, whoa. Okay, so we have, wow. We have 4 purple cards. Intuition, third eye chakra. Although intuition I feel could be associated with almost like all chakras, but this feels very third eye. And then I noticed the amethyst that I'm wearing. Okay, so what actually fell out were these 2, and then these were at the bottom of the deck. So we have bring love into the situation. We have the energy, and then that's a new moon in Aquarius. We have the energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have a new romantic cycle begins. That feels promising, like it feels fun, like it feels exciting. And then have faith in your dreams. In the tarot scope that I wrote, I could feel that you lost a connection with your faith. You lost connection with your abundant nature. Your optimistic, happy-go-lucky self is what I wrote. And this feels linked to a past situation. So for those that are in this space, this relationship that is making you feel confused, it could very well be a relationship that happened before. And the reason why it's coming back up is because a connection that you're in right now is bringing your attention to what happened then. Energy is gaining momentum, and bring love into the situation just gives me the vibe that back to the energy of emotional, like an emotional roller coaster for those that were in a space where it was uncomfortable, you were doubtful, you were confused. 1 minute is like this, the next minute's like this person feels so different. And I feel like love was missing from yourself to yourself, because in the situation I could feel that you thought that you were the problem. You felt like you were the issue. Manipulation, emotional manipulation is just what I heard. Maybe you felt they were emotionally manipulative towards you. All right, Sag, let's see what energy you're moving into. The 9 of Pentacles just made itself seen as I said that. So maybe some of you are moving into a single life, looking for independence on your own, reclaiming that freedom, non-committal energy that is often associated with Sagittarius. What energy is Sagittarius moving into? What energy is Sag moving into? What energy is Sag moving into? Sagittarius. The Six of Coins, the Six of Pentacles. That's a contrast. Wow. And then we have the Hierophant at the bottom. Paired with the Hierophant, the Six, okay. So this feels like you do the opposite. So now you move from doubt to trust. Now you move from doubt to guidance, internal guidance, maybe actual external guidance, because the Hierophant traditionally has to do with, like, usually the card has like a pope on it or some kind of spiritual guru, but this feels more in line with, this feels more in line with you listening to your inner guidance and then connecting with your intuition from that perspective. But the guidance that you're actually receiving may come from your ancestors or your spirit team, unseen guides, but spirit gurus and guides in their own right. And I feel with this Queen of Cups, a connection back to your heart space. That's very nice, because I can feel that there are things in there that need to be healed. And in the tarot scope, I mentioned your heart getting hardened. And this is a good sign for those that are experiencing a hardened heart, the softening of that heart. The Queen of Cups is very, very soft when in a loving state, when in a loving and free flowing state. It's a soft, tender energy. And with the Six of Pentacles, I can feel that it just feels way more independent. It feels way more independent, and you're moving into a confident energy where you're now able to give. Because I feel like in this time, you weren't giving or receiving. You were kind of like in a cocoon, and now you're able to give. Now you're allowing yourself to be more seen. And give to yourself. I just felt the feeling of you reinforcing your values, reinforcing your worth. Maybe you're telling yourself affirmations at this time. What emotional space is Sagittarius moving into? 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 Grief. What I got from this was healing. Although it says grief, but anyway, I'm gonna explain. So it says, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. So I feel with this is you reflecting on this, and you're allowing yourself to experience that which has made your heart a little bit hard, and you getting into that emotional space and feeling all those feelings. This feels great. And not to mention, they are matching. That feels good. When you get to that stage, Sag, like, just know that it's a phase. Like, you're not, well, I can feel that it's not going to be somewhere that you're going to stay. It's just a passing emotion. Just allow yourself to feel them. Because I can feel that when you get into these emotional spaces, you kind of avoid them or stop it prematurely because you're afraid to maybe be overwhelmed by them or fully overtaken by them. I feel like you feel like you're going to lose control. Just allow yourself to go through this. This feels like healing. It feels really good, although it says grief. All right, so here, the romantic space that you're going to move into is show the world the real you. With this, I can feel that the next situation, and we have two Aquariuses, like the new moon in Aquarius, the full moon in Aquarius, maybe the person that you're going to connect with is an Aquarius. The vibe that I'm feeling with that is, now as you work on your heart, now as you maintain or just establish confidence within yourself by building your self-esteem, you're going to be attracting people that are actually in alignment with who you want to be, with the aspects of yourself that you value. And these relationships are going to be more honest. These relationships are going to make you feel more vulnerable, but it's going to be because you're more seen. This feels lovely, Sag. And at the bottom, it says it's time to take action. So in this space, it feels very feminine. It feels very passive action. It's happening mentally, but what was happening was the doubt. Now it's going to kind of do a 180 You're going to be working externally while going within. And yeah, the action that I can feel is related to the confidence, is related to the internal work. It's like both internal and external action. This is great. I'm very happy for you. At the bottom of that, we have believe in the impossible, connecting back with your faith, connecting back with that Jupiter energy, that prosperity, abundant energy that you know all too well. Sag, this is the end of your reading. You can look forward to more in February. I'm excited for February. So I'm going to leave this here. Again, the tarot scope will be down below. Yeah, if you enjoyed this reading, please give it a like. If any of this resonates to the point where you want to talk about it, please comment down below. We want to hear about it. And if you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe to the channel. All right, Sag. See you in February. Take care of that heart of yours. Toodles.